Hello there, I'm Zero Subroutine and welcome back to Starfield. And today we need to talk about space magic, particularly Starfield's space magic, and why it might feel wrong, but why that is also the point. Let's go. And let's get down to this planet and get ourselves a piece of space magic while we discuss it. The first time I encountered the space magic was obviously like 30 minutes into the game, going down into that mine, grabbing the artifact and seeing the lights and the music. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, I'm like level 36, it's my first time playing Starfield now on PlayStation. I have never played any Bethesda game, any real RPG for that matter. So I was like, what is going on? I thought it's like a hard sci-fi, almost simulator RPG game. But I was thrown off the deep end into the magic side of the game. But then when the game continued, like that was like, okay, we found an artifact piece, but like everything else is hard sci-fi. The NASA punk aesthetic, the spaceships, all the people, you know, it's like everything is explained why humanity evolved into this. There are no humanoid aliens or any like very out of the box things. It's like, what if humanity evolved like 200 years? And that's where it is, you know? So it's very, very believable. Everything is very grounded and I can get behind it. But then we get into our first temple, we get magic. I don't know what the first power is. I was like, okay, what's going on? But honestly, then I forgot about it. I never used it. I was like, yeah, okay, space magic, I don't care. But then I just collected more temples and found different powers. And I was like, oh, I want to use this in combat because, you know, it's fun. It might give me an edge. And I actually enjoyed playing around with it, with all the different powers, all the different abilities I can use to defeat my foes. And then I was like, ooh, maybe this isn't as wrong as I first thought. Maybe it's actually a unique aspect to the game, you know? Right now, to me, it feels like the Force in Star Wars, you know? Star Wars also grounded, not as grounded as Starfield, because that's like, you know, like 10,000 years into the future or back into the future, or, you know, it's like, you know, it's out there. But usually Star Wars is believable if you throw some logic out of the window, you know? But most of it is like, okay, let's think far into the future, science evolved a lot, and usually like you can build spaceships, you might even build a lightsaber, you might even find a Baby Yoda race out there, you know? But you can't build the Force, you know? That's just like, okay, even though they explained it with the midichlorians, it's just, you know, it's a bit of magic, you know? And that's how I feel about the space magic in Starfield. Everything is grounded, everything's believable, but that one thing is like, ooh, that's special, what is that, you know? So that's why I feel they made the decision to use this magic in this world, but have it feel grounded because everything else is grounded, you know? This is just like one leap of faith you take, and then you can still have the magic exist in this world. Is it called space magic? Do they ever give it a name? I don't know. Space magic is also like what some people call the Force, so yeah. So that is why I think the argument, it's not hard sci-fi, it doesn't fit, doesn't work for me, but maybe it's just my interpretation. Let me know. What I also heard from other people who played other Bethesda games, like, I wanted to say The Witcher, but no, that's, oh my god, that's CD Projekt Red, don't kill me. Skyrim, you know, it's also like a fantasy game, I think, like, medieval times, I don't know. I've never played it as well. Please don't hurt me. But I heard that Skyrim also has those powers, so I heard that, ooh, Bethesda added the powers because it's Skyrim in space, and that's why it has to be there as well. Maybe that's an argument, but I think, like, why? Like, is a game studio famous for having powers in their game? I don't think so. I think this is just the story they want to tell, and that's why these powers are there. I get why some people think like, ooh, it's also in this Bethesda game, so it makes sense that it's also in this Bethesda game. But then some people can say, ooh, I like that because I like those powers in Bethesda games, so I like that they are in Starfield. But then you can also say, ooh, I don't like that because it's like Skyrim in space, and I thought Starfield is Starfield, you know? So it's kind of, you can make the argument from both point of views. They work in favor of both sides, so that is just up to debate, like what you prefer, you know? Another complaint I heard was that the temples are just repeated and it's like fetch questing, you know? Which I get, and it totally is, you know? It's like, you have like, I don't know how many temples. I have like, I think I have collected like 10 or 15, I don't know. And let's say there are 30. I think in the diagram you can see there are like 30, I think. And yeah, like each temple is basically the same. You find it on the planet, you go there, you grab the power, and then you're done. But honestly, I don't think that's like a bad thing. I think each power is usually unique. A comparison I can draw is like an Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, where you touch like a special planet and then you get a power, you know? Yes, it's just like a gimmick. You go there, touch the planet, and then you have the power. But I don't see a problem in that, to be honest. Like, it's not a big deal. It's not like the main story is like, hey, go to the same temple 30 times. I think in the main story it's like what, 4 or 5 times you do it. I don't know. And then it's like also unique because you have like characters with you, and then different things happen, you know. But the other temples are totally optional. But I get why that could feel like it's very much the same, because it is, you know, but it's like skill points, but like you have to work for a bit more. So I don't think like it's a bad thing, but I get why that could feel like very boring, but that's usually like every game has like a cycle, you know, like a gameplay loop, and if you don't like a single thing of it, it's just taste, you know. I don't feel bothered by it. I don't think it's a deal breaker, you know. If I'm like close to temple, I do it. If I don't do it, you know. And some people like collecting, like that's why collectibles are a big thing. I know some people hate them in like open world games. Ooh, collectibles, I hate them. Yeah, then don't collect them, you know, like the game doesn't force you. Like collectibles don't matter at all to a story or enjoying a game. Collectibles are just collectibles. And in this case, you're even incentivized to do it because you get a cool power afterwards you can use in the game, you know? I think the bigger issue is if people don't like the powers is that they don't like the main story. Because now they have played like half of the game, half of the main story, I think. I've encountered the Starborn, so I've hit that wall of, okay, this is going a bit more fantasy. Wherever it goes, I have no idea. I know like the Starborn is a thing, and you go through the Unity, and I know that's like New Game Plus, but I haven't played the main story to its fullest, so I don't know. But it feels a bit more out there, so I'm excited to see in the end if I like it or if I don't like it. But yeah, it's just the end, you know, even if that's a bit iffy, like, I don't care. But obviously, if you don't like that fantasy stuff at all, you're not gonna like the temples, the powers, and the ending. So I think that just comes down to personal taste. But that was my opinion about the powers, the temples, the Starborn. Not that much about the Starborn, because I still have to get to know them a lot more, I think. So far, they've only tried to kill me, so we don't have that great of a relationship. But the space magic, I think I went far enough so I could talk a bit about that. But let me know what you think. Do you like the space magic? Do you not like the space magic? Maybe you like the space magic but don't like collecting them? Also valid. But yeah, that's why Starfield space magic feels wrong, but also why I think that was Bethesda's point, to make it stand out, make it feel unique. If you enjoyed this video, I have a full Starfield playlist linked for you in the description, and if you enjoyed it even more, you might even consider leaving a like or subscribe. But thank you for hanging out, and I will see you on the next one. Bye bye.